Good evening, wonderful people, great Biafrans, wherever you are. We welcome you to another explosive edition of Radio Biafra presentation this very evening of the 31st day of May in the year of our Most High Elohim 2020. The time now is exactly a minute past the top of the hour. That means it is a minute past 7 p.m. in the glorious land of Biafra, and the same number of minutes wherever you are, regardless of the time zone you are listening to us from. We are coming to you live. We are direct. This is a live presentation. I know that a lot of people, we are shocked that I am once again on air presenting this very evening but we have a gospel to preach. And we have decided that that very gospel we must preach on this very day. I will encourage you to ask your friends, your neighbors, your relatives, your parents, your siblings, your cousins, and your uncles to gather around their listening devices wherever they are, to partake and to participate in this very offering this evening. Because we are not like any other broadcaster. We are not like any other that you may have come across. We exist in over 80 countries around the world, and in all those places across the length and breadth of this very planet Earth, people are listening to Radio Biafra. Some of you may have joined us via my Facebook page, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and of course, the official one, not the fake one, created by DSS to deflect and to divert attention away from this very monumental work that we are doing to restore our nation. We are on Radio Biafra app. You can receive us via TuneIn app. We are on Simple Radio. We are on Garden Radio, if I'm not mistaken. I say Radio Garden, each of the two, or either of the two, I must say. We are also on satellite. Radio Biafra is also on FM in Biafra land. Across all this plethora of platforms, you can and should be able to receive Radio Biafra if you are determined to join us. Once again, I welcome you. And I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night to some of you, because we are broadcasting into every time zone around the world. Should you wish to listen to us, you should be able to do so without any hindrance whatsoever. I welcome you. My name is Nnamdi Kanu. I am the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. And by the very special grace of Chukwukika Biama Prumi Henine, a servant of the wonderful people of Biafra. This evening, before we go any further, we are going to pray. We are going to call upon Elohim to direct our proceedings this very evening, as we have always done and will continue to do until the end of time. Wherever we are, I do recommend and suggest that you close your eyes if you can, or that you bow your heads in prayer. And I will pray in the language of heaven. The same way in Roman Catholicism many years ago, they used to pray in Latin. The same way till this very day, Judaism, we pray in Hebrew. The same way, and as I am sure, if you go to Orthodox Church, they pray in Ethiopian language. If you go to the Coptic Church, they pray also in Greek language. And if you're part of evangelicals, you pray in what I call American English. Here, in keeping with the tradition of the ancients, and because we are bowing before the throne of heaven, we will defer and pray in the language of heaven. Chukwukika Biama nke pụrụ ihe niile, onye eluigwe n'ụwa na-akpụ isi ala nye, onye ọ bụ naanị ya karịrị ihe niile nke a na-etu ya, Chineke nna nke na-epụrụ anyị ihu ma pụrụ anyị azụ, anyị wee na-akpọku aha nsọ gị, wee na-arịọ gị n'ebe obibi gị bebe kachasị ebe niile elu, wee na-asị gị eze ndị nsọ bikonu, were aka nri nke ezi omume gị bịa ka iwe leta ndị gị, n'ihi na anyị emehiewo wee megide gị, iwe gị wee karịsịchaa n'ebe anyị nọ, mana anyị wee na-akpọku gị ma n'ime mmụọ ma n'ime eziokwu, na-arịọ gị bikonu amara gị na ọmịiko gị n'ime ndụ ndị gị niile bụ ụmụ gị bụ IPOB n'ụwa niile. Ụmụ gị bụ ndị Biafra, wee na-asị eze ndị nsọ ka ihe gị wee chaa n'ebe anyị nọ, ka ị were aka nri nke ezi omume gị wee kwagide ndị gị nna nke ebere dị ngọzi, na ihe karịrị anyị bịakwutere anyị, na ndị iro abatawo anyị n'ime, wee chijie ekworo n'agha, wee memila ọlụ aka nke gị onwe gị, wee kpochapụ ụmụ gị bụ ndị dunyere ka ha wee weta ihe nsọ gị n'ime Biafra. onye nwe m, anyị wee na-asị gị eze ndị nsọ, biko mere anyị ebere. Chineke nna nke usu niile nke ndị agha, biko mere anyị ebere. Onye anyị ji wee na-eme ọnụ, biko mere anyị ebere, n'ihi na ndị anyị ka mma na-achịzi anyị ọchị. onye nwe m, biko nụ, n'ihi na ọ bụghị otu aka isi wee kwado ya, ọ bụghị otu aka isi wee buru ya n'obi gbasara ọnọdụ anyị n'elu ụwa, kama ọ bụ site na amaghị, ọ bụ site na mmehie, ọ bụ site na arụrụ ala, ọ bụ site n'ụzọ ihe ọjọọ niile dị iche iche, ajọ mmụọ na ajọ mmadụ mere o ji wee dị ka anyị onwe anyị ọ na-ala azụ nna nke ebere dị ngọzi wee na-arịọ gị, biko nụ, onye ndị mmụọ ozi na-akpọ isi ala nye, Chineke nna eze ebube dị ngọzi, were biko n'ịhụnanya gị na ebere gị wee bịa ka i wee leta anyị, ka iru gị wee chaa n'ebe anyị nọ, ka amara gị wee zuo oke n'ime ndụ anyị, ka anyị bụrụ ndị ga-anọ ndụ n'ala nke ndị dị ndụ, wee hụ Biafra. onye nwe m, ka anyị wee fee gị ofufe n'ụzọ ziri ezi, wee kpee isi ala nye gị mgbe niile, wee gaa n'ime arọ Chukwu nna nke ebere dị ngọzi, dịka o si wee dị na mgbe gboo, wee rụọrọ gị ụlọukwu eze ebube dị ngọzi, wee fee gị ofufe gị ka nwe wezi wee kwado. eze ebere anyị na-efe arụsị, anyị ga-akpụ isi ala wee nye ihe ọbụla bụ anụkpa ahụ. anyị anaghị efe ihe nwaanyị mụrụ, anyị anaghị efe ihe ọbụla nwoke ji aka ya wee gbutu osisi wee pịa, n'ihi na anyị onwe anyị na-efe gị eze ebube dị ngọzi. biko n'ime mmụọ na eziokwu anyị wee na-arịọ gị, wee na-aja gị mma, wee na-eto gị, wee na-asị gị biko toni na nsọpụrụ na ija mma niile bụrụ nke naanị gị, onye kerela igwe na ọgbụgba mara ogbiri na-ebebe ka na-arịọ gị. ise 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 mma mma dịrị gị Chineke. We have to proceed very speedily and without hesitation to preach this very gospel. Rather unorthodoxly, this very evening, we are going to start in a way that most would not actually expect us to. We want to lay the background upon which everything that is rotten about the zoo is predicated. We want to lay for the whole world to understand that when people talk about the zoo called Nigeria, that when saboteurs are rising up and defending what is in essence the indefensible, that they understand the enormity of the problem confronting the people that inhabit the damnable zoological republic. Our enemies are not sleeping. Therefore, I may choose to come on air every blessed day. If it is warranted, I will do so. Our enemies are not sleeping at all. The zoo is not sleeping. The servant is not sleeping in our land. All the traitors are not sleeping. Therefore, we shouldn't sleep either. We shouldn't be caught sleeping. Our enemies are numerous. They are fighting us in every way possible. We must overwhelm and overcome them. That's what we're going to do this evening. You must listen very, very carefully. Very, very carefully, please. Very, very carefully. We have to preach this very gospel. This is the voice of the real sponsor of Boko Haram. All of you know him. Ali Dume. Listen, he's a politician. He is a Janjaweed politician. Listen to what he has to say about the zoo. And then from there, we take it on and build and weave the entire structure of this evening program on top of what this man has to say. This very video is everywhere. I am sure some of you may have heard about it before. But not from this perspective, most definitely. I want to listen and listen very carefully and attentively. If Facebook is frustrating you, if they kick you out, try and rejoin again. That is what they are. That's what they do all the time. That is their stock in trade. BBC was against us during the war. There was a media blackout on the Biafra during the war. We have traced their conspiracy back to the House of Lords in England. Those who don't want the light to shine in Africa, it is Saturday. They've been doing this thing for nearly 320 years. It is Saturday. So what Facebook is doing is not new. What our detractors are doing is not new. The only thing is that our enemies who are within are using the name of Biafra. They are telling you that they are agitators to deceive, to misdirect your attention. They are doing all of these things in order to delay the coming of Biafra, to please their Janjaweed masters in the north. We have discovered their tricks. We know what they're up to, and we are determined to stop them. And that's what we're going to do. Every blessed day that we wake up, what we are going to do is to remind them, always and without fail, that we remain as resolute, as determined, and as formidable as ever. Listen to this, please. It is very, very important.
It's very unfortunate. I'm part of it. We deceive people. We're not honest.
We deceive people. We're not honest.
Also, the worst part of it is Nigerians also deceive themselves. Because if you ask for accountability, in my own religion, they say God. You know, God, and the good thing about it is everybody in Nigeria we don't have pagans. The whole people we don't have pagans. Because every Nigerian, no Nigerian, I don't know of any Nigerian that worship idol.
Are you listening?
People only go to shrine. And that's the belief what is there. Isn't it? And it's not like you have somebody that you don't worship. No. So we are religious people and we believe in one God. Yet when people come around and start talking, they don't fear God. I don't think they even believe that God is there. I went to.
Do you understand what he's saying? This is Ali Ndume. He is telling you that all of them are bad, including Nigerians themselves. That is exactly what he is saying. They are all bad. All of them, bar none. All of them are bad. If you don't understand what he said, I will try and play it again for you.
It's very unfortunate. I'm part of it.
It's unfortunate.
We deceive people. We're not honest.
Politicians in Nigeria, they do what? They deceive people. They are telling you it is their job. Their job is to deceive you. Their job is to raise saboteurs from everywhere. It is their job always to make sure that you're held down in poverty and in penury. It is their job to make sure you have no electricity. It is their job to make sure you have no good roads. It is their job to make sure you have no decent education. It is their job to make sure you are born into suffering. You will exist in pain and in suffering, and you will die in pain and in suffering. It is not a state, it is a politician, a Nigerian politician. Listen again very carefully, please. Listen. What I have to say.
Nigerian leaders, it's very unfortunate. I'm part of it. We deceive people. We are not honest.
They deceive people.
We deceive Nigerians. And also, the worst part of it is that Nigerians also deceive themselves. Because if you ask for accountability,
Nigerians also deceive themselves. When we call them a zoo, when we say there are people living in a zoo, most of them don't understand us. They don't know where we are coming from. They don't know why we say the things we do. They don't know why we agitate the way we agitate. Not only are the politicians bad, Nigerians themselves are also awful. They are the ones who are suffering. They are the ones who are at the receiving end of a primitive Janjaweed misrule. They are the ones who should be rising up to fight for their freedom. But they are the ones, over and over again, that have decided to fight those who are fighting for their freedom. And I don't want anybody to get discouraged. You cannot afford to be discouraged. We must remain resolute. That is one thing we are known for. Our determination is unquestionable. And that is what we must demonstrate at all times. At all times we must. We are unwavering in our belief that what we are doing is right because of people like this, because of a political system and a political class that have decided to impoverish mankind. This is the very essence of a black man's wickedness. If you're wondering how evil and bad a black man is, what this man is saying is a pointer. It tells you all that you need to know about them and why you have saboteurs in our land who are working for the enemy. And proudly so. They are not only working for the enemy, they are proudly working for the enemy. They are. And tomorrow they will come out to complain. But they will not tell you that they are the actors of the problem. This is a man accused of sponsoring Boko Haram. He is a politician. He is in the zoo. That tells you all you need to know. Now, having listened to that, I want our people to understand that there are only two factors holding us down. Having regard for what this man has just said, there are only two things holding us down as a people and keeping us away from our freedom. That is what we are going to discuss this very evening. If time will permit, our lines will open later on. I will try as much as I can to open our lines. If network permits us. There are two factors holding us down, and that is the reason why it's always very easy for the Janjaweed to kill, to invade, and to divide us at will. To divide us at will. They are not going to change. They will never change. They will always try to divide us. They will try to demoralize us. They will do everything they can to make you feel that what you're doing is not working. Believe you me, we are holding them in a better place. That I can assure you. There are two factors holding us down. And that is the reason why the Fulani Janjaweed always find it easy to kill us, invade, and most importantly, critically, to divide us at will. It didn't start today. The reason why people are at times ashamed, or should I say, afraid to say who they are, to use the word Biafra, was because Britain, over 300 years ago, started this very process. When they themselves researched and discovered that indeed we are the children of God in the land of Africa, there to bring life to Africa. That was when Britain started these very concerted efforts, both covertly and overtly, to make sure that Biafra does not see the light of day. And this evening I'll prove it to you. I am also trying to make you understand this, that the successive leadership of all Biafran ethnic nationalities have failed. Repeatedly I say, failed to address the issue of division, the issue of segregation, the issue of subjugation, the issue of the subversion of the name Biafra. So that when we agitate for Biafra, the world can understand the reason why we are doing so. That our enemies as well can appreciate the reason why we are doing so. Another problem that we have is Igbo man's love for gossip and backbiting, bitchiness. I didn't say Igbo women, I said Igbo men. Their love for gossip and their this affinity they have to backbite, which links to what I have always preached all the time. It has to do with greed, envy, and jealousy. That is why you have Janjaweed in our homes, in our villages, in our communities, in our market squares, in our bushes, in our forests, everywhere you have them. Up until now, up until this very minute, those who hold political power, there has never been any concerted effort to try to drive those people away. And before the Janjaweed came, before the Fulani decided to invade Biafra land and take our land over, they bribed every major media house in the world. They bribed everybody. They bribed Facebook. They bribed BBC. They bribed CNN. They bribed Dutch. Anybody, every major news outlet in the world is in their payroll. Now they're invading. Have you heard about this invasion anywhere else? Are people complaining about this invasion? Have you heard of any publication anywhere in the world analyzing the disproportionate influx of Janjaweed and Lamagiri terrorist fighters into Biafra land? I'm asking you a question. Have you read it anywhere? The reason why you will not read it is because they have been paid. They have been bribed. There is a global effort not to allow Biafra to emerge. I said global. Conspiracy. And the Igbo man is not helping either. The Igbo man is not helping either. They are the ones who are being recruited to do the work of the Janjaweed for them. They are the ones who are going all over the place, lying against Biafra, trying to deceive the same people that they ought to be saving. These are the issues confronting us as a people. And it is my duty and responsibility to highlight it to the hearing of the whole world, that mankind may know that there was a time that we preached this very gospel. We warned our people, but they did not listen. This evening, we are continuing our effort to unite the Biafran family all over the world, especially in Biafra land. I said especially in Biafra land, because there are some things that people do not know. There are many things we do not appreciate nor understand, nor have the urge or need to understand it. That is why when we preach, we use historical references that each and everybody listening to us may come to the understanding that what we are saying is irrefutable. You can't doubt it. You can never, ever doubt it. Now, this very evening, having heard what Al-Majiri said, that the zoo called Nigeria is a den of rogues and politicians are evil. Even ordinary Nigerians are evil as well. That is what the man said. That people are merely deceiving themselves. They claim they believe in God. There is nothing godly about them. All they do is to lie and to deceive themselves. And should I say, the headquarters of all these liars and deceivers are in Igbo land. These are Igbo men. It doesn't matter if you call yourself Delta or anything you call yourself. You are your own greatest problem and enemy. When other people are grouping together, seeking to devour you, to invade your land, to take your ancestral homes, you are busy gossiping, envying each other and backbiting. Because that is what the enemy asked you to go and do. To divide the attention. To make sure they don't focus on that very thing that we are doing, which is to come into your land, conquer you, defeat you militarily and politically, and then take over everything that belongs to you. Now listen, this is a story of somebody, because this debate about Niger Delta is still raging. And I'm going to link everything up this evening, from what this gentleman said to everything about this whole Niger Delta nonsense. Traitors, saboteurs are hiding under the name Niger Delta to derail Biafra. They are hiding under the name Niger Delta to perpetuate iniquity. They are hiding under the name Niger Delta to get away or to excuse themselves from a responsibility they willingly entered into. Liars and deceivers. That was why I said that anybody, man or woman, referring to himself or herself as a Niger Delta person, once you have Niger, you have Delta. In anything you are doing, God in heaven knows you are a demon. You are working for the caliphate. That is how you know them. Once they have Niger to their name, or South, Niger Delta, anything that has Delta to it, you know they are working for the Fulani Caliphate. And their job is to distract your attention at this very critical time. Is to make you not to see clearly. Is to make you not to critically analyze your situation. To make it impossible for you to come together as a people to articulate a solution, or should I say a way out of the mess that you're in. That is why they're in our land. And if you don't know that we are surrounded, we are apart from Israel. Biafra is the second most hated people in the whole world. People hate Biafrans for no reason. They just see you and they hate you for no reason. They see the blessing of God on your face and they despise you. That is why they have come to our land to take it. And what are their agents doing? Trying to deflect your attention, trying to divert your attention away, trying to make you feel that you have greater problems, that 2023 presidential whatever nonsense election is your priority or should be your priority, that the best way to address the overwhelming invasion of your land is to hope that things will be better in 2023. And by that time, you will no longer exist. You must understand what these people are doing. Somebody wrote something which is quite interesting, which I must read to you. I think I don't have his name. No, I have his name is Chibike. Is that correct? What is his name? Let me read what he wrote. He said, I come from Otaka community in Obubra. Obubra is in Cross River State. Obubra LGA, local government area of Cross River State. We are about 20,000 inhabitants in population, as the controversial census says. Of course, nobody believes anything coming out of the zoo, according to what Ali said. This is Cross River State, a Cross River indigene. That is why Facebook doesn't want the truth to be told. That is why all of them are ganging up against us, ganging up against what IPOB is doing. But we don't care. We don't give a damn. If they say it's only one person listening, I will preach. Instead of me to preach for 2 hours, I will preach for 3 hours. The more they reduce the number of our listeners, the more I will preach. You think this is 67? You can intimidate. You can use your media blackout as they are slaughtering their friends. Our parents are dying on the battlefield trying to defend us. You are busy lying to the whole world. All of you, we are lying to the whole world. Every Yoruba media, every Hausa media, the same middle belts today who are being slaughtered. I said the same Christians in the middle belt that I'm fighting for when I go to America. The same Christians in the middle belt. You joined Go On, who was a Christian, to kill Biafrans. Go On went and created southeastern Nigeria, which is this same place where Igbo people come from, in Cross River State. I hope you're listening. In Cross River State. Now, Nyawodo, so-called leaders of Biafra, or Igbo leaders, none of them over all these years, none of them ever rose up to challenge this abomination by Go On and the gender with Fulani that have been dividing us with drawing artificial boundaries. We thought that what Luga did was bad. What Go On and the Janjaweed in the north did is an abomination. And that was why I said, Biafra will not. Are you listening? Biafra can never come until you go and unite all these my children together. And that's what we are doing. Now you know why Biafra did not come in 1970. I have told this story before. I went to America and they were giving us the facts and figures of the Biafran War. They said that, of course, the Vietnam War was a distraction, but had we fought on for another 6 months, President Nixon would have instructed Harold Wilson in the UK to allow Biafra to go. Only 6 more months. But we stopped because Elohim wanted to show us Biafra, the promised land, to say your parents have fought for this. Now all of you should go and fight for it. And that's what we are doing. But you cannot fight for Biafra unless you unite the children of the Most High, unless all the Biafran families are one together. And that is exactly what we are doing. The only thing is that we are doing it in every truth and in every honesty. That is why we say everything in the open. Nothing is hidden. So when we tell you that this is where the boundary of Biafra starts and this is where it ends, you will have no need to doubt us. Let me read for you. There are about, according to official zoo census, about 20,000 inhabitants in Otaka community, in Obubura local government area of Cross River State. Because when a Janjaweed Iraq or Yoruba Iraq was like, oh, leave Cross River out of your Biafra, they will not tell you. This is something that channels cannot tell you. Punch newspaper can never tell you. All the Yoruba media can never tell you because they are doing the work of Lucifer. They are working for Satan. They are working for darkness. They can never ever tell you that there are Igbo people in Cross River State. They'll never tell you that. They can never tell you. Not just in Delta, not just in rivers. Because that's the first thing they say, oh, the Igbo speak, the 7 Igbo speaking states. Igbo speaking. But there are no Hausa speaking states in the north. No Hausa speaking states in the north. No Yoruba speaking states. It's only in our land. They want to divide us. They don't want us to be together. Wants to divide the land of Biafra. Elohim departs. His glory cannot be with you. His grace, he will take his grace with him. You are on your own. That's why we are suffering today. So what we are actually doing now is what organizations should have done since 1976. They never did it. These are the elders that they sat down and they saw something that young children cannot see. Isn't it ironic that we have elders and children are not teaching elders their own history? Elders that should be telling us under the moonlight, in the night, what our history is, who we are related to, who are your brothers, who are your cousins, who are your sisters. They didn't do it. It is us, the children, now telling our fathers who we are and who our relatives are. It is a shock, an utter abomination. Utter abomination. My goodness. Let me read this to you. Our language is Igbo in Cross River State, in Otaka community, in Obubra, in Cross River State. The language is Igbo language. They speak the same Igbo that some parts of Igbo people are speaking. That's all. And in Otaka village, in Obubra local government area of Cross River State, they have 4 market days. Eke, Ori, Afandonko. And in Otaka village, in Obubra local government area of Cross River State, they circumcise all their male children on the 8th day. They celebrate New Yam Festival. They are called Isobo people. Isobo is the same thing. The same people we have in Isoko, in the so-called Delta State. I hope you're following. Not that we want to force anybody to be part of Biafra, but we want to let the God Almighty in heaven know that assignment that he gave to us, that we must go and locate all his children, shine this light of knowledge of Biafra to them. Then let them decide where they wish to belong. They must decide where they wish to belong. That is exactly what we are doing. Some people won't listen, they will keep going. Even when it's not time to do so. That is what Khalid was saying. People who don't listen to very simple instructions. But we must proceed. And proceed we must. Don't please, but if they remove you, you come back in again. That's what Facebook does. It doesn't matter what they do, we are proceeding. We are proceeding with our program this evening. I said, I challenge Facebook to take it down from now 5.9K, take it down to 100. And I was still preaching. We are beyond being demoralized, if you don't know. Otaka community in Obo-Burala government area of Cross River State is Biafra. It is an Igbo territory. They call them the great sub-Igbo speaking groups. Domiciled in Niger Delta, that's what they call them. These are Igbo people. They are calling them Niger Delta. And it's even a very good thing that even the PA today came out to say he's an Igbo man. And I said, no wonder. Only an Igbo man can be as stupid as you are. Only an Igbo man can collect money and deny that he didn't collect any. I'm coming to you later on. Only an Igbo man will now deny that you don't know who Uchenna Asiebu is. You are now denying that Uchenna Asiebu never gave you any money. Only an Igbo man will do that and say he's a Niger Deltan. Talking rubbish. Only an Igbo man will deny money given to him. Almost a criminal. By day and by night. You deny I never spoke to you. You deny I never sent people to your mansion in Cotonou. I did not speak to you. You don't know who a dossier is. You don't know who Abanyim is. I came to see you in the Republic that I sent to come and see you. You don't know who Zunimike is anymore. You deny speaking to me on the phone. Before you went into that meeting in Cotonou, you deny it. You are an Igbo man, so I'm not surprised. Full of deceit. Self-deceit. So you no longer know. You say, of course, I did not give you money directly from prison. I asked somebody to give it to you. His name is Uchenna Asiebu. Have you forgotten? You people are the problem. You are an Igbo man, but you're hiding under Niger Delta. Talking rubbish. But you're an Igbo man. You look like a pig. You're an Igbo man. No wonder. I'm not surprised. All you people know is to backbite, envy, gossip, and Igbo man to sit down. Oburu Egusi Elili, Onabe Elili. You selling Egusi, talking rubbish, gossiping. That's all you do. I'm not surprised. All your useless, so many fancy was just pure 419 you do. You are a criminal. So you think everybody else is a criminal. And in broad daylight, you deny the money that I asked you to last year. So you think so I will be in prison and I will leave prison as a witch. As I'm also, I will fly to you and give you money. You want to play smart. You want to show you're clever. But you're not clever. Uchenna Asiebu gave you the money. Come out and do the video. Uchenna Asiebu never gave you any money. Bring Quran with you. I'm telling you, that's God you worship will strike you dead. Bring Quran with you. I swear that Uchenna Asiebu never gave you on my own instruction. Swear that I never spoke to you. I want you to swear that I never spoke to you from prison. I spoke to you. You're a liar and a creep. You're a thief. I give you names. I knew you would lie and you would deny. Like some of you claiming you are Niger Delta, but you're Igbo. In Cross River State. In Cross River, you're Igbo. You speak Igbo language. You have 400 days. Circumcise your children. The same way some fools from there are saying to be a Niger Delta. Related to people from Ondo. Is how in your own deception and stupidity you will found out. Did I not send a dossier to you? This Creek pig, did I not send a... You don't know who is a dossier? I sent them to you. I sent Abanyim to you. I sent him to Lumike to you. 3 of them came on my honor to travel from Europe to continue to have a meeting with you. Why did I give you 20 million? I gave you 20 million as a starter. of all the plans that we had, and you're busy lying. Did General Playboy not come to your house? Did General Playboy not come to your house? He asked and we sent him. That we gave you money. Are you going to deny it? And you asked your boys to shut the door that you're not at home. Did Playboy go to your house or not? Did we give you money to protect us at war or not? I'm giving you facts and figures. How much were you given for war? 5 million. I approved it. From war to defend us 2016 from war. The massacre that Amnesty keeps talking about till today. At war. Have you forgotten? You said something was happening. You are the one that went and told the zoo that we have no arms and they came to war to slaughter us. It comes from you. And you are an Igbo man. I'm not surprised. Now you have agreed with an Igbo man. You think you can lie? You don't know. Let me tell you something. In my training, I learned something when I did one of those law courses as an elective. Never ask a question you don't have an answer to. I know it was a trap yesterday and you fall into it. I know because I didn't give someone so much details last night that you come out today to say, I gave you no money because you think you're smart, but you're foolish. You are very, very foolish. Uchenna said, well, me gave you the money. I want you to do a video. Come out tomorrow and say, me never gave you any money. Come out and do another video. Because you have no shame. See how a grown-up man is lying. Instead of you to address the issues, I'm just trying to draw. I want the world to know how an Igbo man behaves. That is why Jan Jawid that did not go to school is controlling our lives because of this type of selfish, greedy behavior. All of you, your masters are panicking in the caliphate. They are giving Yoruba people working for Facebook more money. Please reduce. You forgot that people are listening via radio Biafra app. People in Biafra land are listening via FM. People are listening via tuning. People are listening via sweet radio. People are listening through country radio. Do you seriously think people are even satellite? You think people are only listening to the Kanu via Facebook? Is that what you think? People are listening on YouTube. Live channel on YouTube. You don't know that? That's how daft people are. That was why Alan Dume said that not only the politicians, that Nigerians also are stupid. That's what he said. You are denying something. I called you on the phone. You and I had a conversation. My men had a meeting with you in Kodonu. You're denying it. Omiomi sent you money. You're denying it. I doubt you're militant. I don't think so. You are just there eating pork and look at how bloated you are. Bloated pieces everywhere. They are the people in the cross. When cross river is Niger Delta. It's like, look, and we keep quiet like fools. If not for IPOB. People, when they talk that rubbish, some of you, Yoruba irats. They intimidate you and you run. You just, like a fool, you abandon an argument that you have won by nature. These are your relatives in Cross River, in Delta State, in Rivers, in Akwa Ibom, in Bayelsa. They are your blood relatives. I said blood. Somebody, a Janja weed from somewhere, is on Facebook. Leave Cross River and you run away. Some idiots will say to us, can't you make it only Igbo nation? I look at the idiots campaigning for Igbo nation. And I ask them, do you know you have relatives in Benue? Do you know your people are in Cross River? You're talking about Igbo nation of 5 Igbo speaking. People are daft because you didn't go to school. Some of you are professors, but you know nothing. Absolutely nothing. Are you more Igbo than somebody from Abo? You're from Owerri. Are you more Igbo than somebody from Ebanke? Igbo, that's the name. Are you more Igbo than somebody from Otaka in Obubra? How are you more Igbo than that person? Is there any center we have? And so, as a Christian, as you are to that very location, that makes you more Igbo? The answer is no. So I will ask you again, can somebody tell me why they will be campaigning for Igbo nation of only 5 states when you have Igbo people in Cross River? Who are they? People in the some idiots, they go to Star reporters, they'll be writing nonsense, they'll be writing pure crap. They're intellectuals. If the idiot you write PhD or LLD, rubbish. Black people, you have a degree, PhD, SSD, give you common sense. You hide behind your envy to write rubbish. That is why your politicians are useless. Useless in this life. Useless to the core. They can't defend you. The answer, Chike, Omeji, Chedemma, in Cross River State. Some of you now will go to one of their platforms and the Yoruba idiot from Obomosho will come and write rubbish. Oh, you want to take Cross River because of the oil? Instead of you to say that I have my brother, his name is Chibike. I have my brother there, his name is Chibike. It's not for you. I am looking for Chibike, my relative. Some of you shy away from a debate. If not for IPOB, where would you be today? Janjaweed will make people soup with your brain. Unbelievable. Why was it I asked them all the time? Why was it that Nnamdi Kanu and all the alleged great people leaders, they never sought to unite with their king? Never. It was I think it was the Ohanes of Rafu that managed to bring in Delta and then some parts of rivers. The Southeast, 5 Igbo speaking states. How about the Igbos in Benue? How about the Igbos in Cross River? How about the Igbos in Edo? How about the Igbos in Delta? How about the Igbos in Rivers? How about the Igbos in Akwa Ibom? You're asking me to restrict Biafra agitation to only 5 states. Are you more Igbo than those people in Akwa Ibom? It's not becoming clearer, isn't it? Very, very clear. Our enemies are wasting their time. They know we know more than they do. We are schooled. And we'll be good. All these so-called great leaders, they failed in the simplest tasks that Elohim asked them to do. He sent the message through Mazi Nnamdi Kanu all throughout 1940s and early 50s. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu kept telling Azikiwe, forget one Nigeria. Let's unite our people. Azikiwe said no. Look at the mess we're in today. And somebody wants me to regard Azikiwe as a great man. I don't think you know what you're talking about, honestly speaking. Now, let us look at what happened. I told you that they have ganged up. People don't understand the level of conspiracy against Biafra, the word Biafra. And I kept asking myself, why is it that any time these people, they hear the word Biafra, they want to go mad? There is something about Biafra that is driving the British man mad. Something. What is that thing? What is it about Biafra that when we go to the UN and you mention the word Biafra, everybody will run away from the room? That was why I knew that Tony was lying. It's called Biafra. Because if you go to the capitals of the world and discuss Biafra, when they finish dealing with you, if you come outside, you will suffer from typhoid and malaria and convulsion immediately. You ask yourself, but why this hatred for Biafra? What did they do anything? They are the ones that killed us, 5 million people. Yet they are afraid of us. That is how I know. When somebody says, oh, I will tell you you're lying. Because if you go to the UN and call a meeting at the UN and you put on the display board the word Biafra, they will stand up and they will walk out. But that hasn't stopped us, has it? We are still going. Stronger than ever. Stronger than ever. They can't stop us. They can never. And they know it. When people come to you and are lying to you, I expect our people raised with some gumption to understand that these are agents of darkness. I said something about the pig. A simple trap. I said to him, I gave you 20 million. And I know that being the criminal he is, he will say, oh, Nnamdi Kanu did not give me any money. He will not tell you that I instructed Uche Nnasebu to give him that money. If he was an honorable man, he would have said Uche Nnasebu gave me money or talked to me about money. Massacre. Do you know who is to blame? He's the pig. We gave him money. He said they will come and protect us at Mpo. They never came. I was in prison. I was weeping. I was crying inside the prison as they were slaughtering our men. And I asked him, I said to him, where are the things you promised me is coming to war? He said, oh no, that there's somewhere near the head bridge. I said, when are they going to come on board? That men are falling. He ate that money. I sent men to him in Iguacha. He wants me, I will tell the whole world. I sent men to you in Iguacha. You get the money. You left my men outside. In fact, have you forgotten how many men were arrested in Iguacha and how they were arrested? Who arrested them? Is it not your own boys that we are riding in DSS, what's it called? This is their truck. Pointing out my men in Iguacha. When they went to the place where you said they are going to sleep, was anything there? They were telling me that there's nothing there. Nowhere for them to sleep. Did you ask me to bring money to fence the place or not? To make it more secure. Yes, that you're a thief. So I will expose you to the whole world. Did you or did you not ask for more money to build fence? And I said, how about the money that I gave to you? What is it for? Are you going to deny it? Did Uche Nnasebu send money to you? And how many times were you sent money? How many times, since you think you're smart, you are denying I didn't speak to you? And I'm asking you, the meeting we held in your place, I joined by teleconference. 3 of my men were there. I flew them from Europe into Cotonou. True or false? Simple question. You're a liar. Just like your counterpart working for the Janjaweed. Constitution office flat file. He won't allow people to speak. Always I made allegations against him last night. The only thing he remembered to refute was the 100 naira that we talked about. How about the rest? Where in America were you? You claim you are fighting for Biafra. Where in America? Show us a copy of the document you submitted. If you think you've not done it, or you are trying to do like Femi Adesina, you want to forge it? You want to go to Oluwole and tomorrow morning they've opened now. There's no more restriction. So you want to go and forge papers? Bring it out. Let's see. It should be in your folder. Just to roll it out. Let's see. You claim you want to talk to Biafra in America, yes? Bring out the documents now. Let's see. You think you're smart. You claim you also claim that you got me out of prison. Today, everything. He doesn't know who you are. So I ask you, what do you gain by lying? What is the gain? So the Janjaweed handling you told you to go and keep lying. You people are talking rubbish when our land is under siege. What we need is guns and weapons. And you're talking rubbish, talking jazz with BBC, talking nonsense. How do you build the economy? Economy where? You people are finished. You people are finished. All you do is you gossip. All you do is you go. Every day you are gossiping. Every day. How do we bring down Nnamdi Kanu? How do we bring down IPOB? But you cannot. Not in this life, not in the next. You cannot. Today now you know you're an Igbo man. But you are dancing like a headless chicken. You are doing bli job. Now it has happened. You have used your own mouth to confess. Yeah, no wonder you're the way you are. Only an Igbo man can be that wicked and useless and treacherous. Only an Igbo man. We have our faults, so forget your our own fault is deadly. Defense fund. I said, show me an Igbo man in the whole world, an Igbo man that can give you $100,000 and say, go and fight for it. No Igbo man can do it. Igbo women can, maybe. No Igbo man. And the Fulani know this. That's why they come. They know you people. They know you people are so stingy. You are so evil. You so much hate yourselves that you cannot bring out one dime to save your people. They Fulani know this fucking Igbo man. How many millionaires do you have? Is Peter not a millionaire? Is Soludo not a millionaire? Who owns Orient Oil Block in our land? Is it not Emeka Anyok? Don't they have money to buy weapons to defend our land? But they won't do it. All your ex-governors, all your ex-senators have stolen money. Do you think they will do it? Of course not. But in the north, in Fulani land, they are building a trunk of gas. All of them combined together. All the money they have stolen, from everywhere they come, they hold a meeting in Kaduna. They say, this is what we're going to do, and they're suppressing you. And fearing that you will now come together to realize who you are, they now sent the people like Tony Nnadi to go and poison your minds, to accuse Nnamdi Kanu wrongfully for not, I have done nothing wrong to solve this war. I lost my mom and I lost my dad in this very fight. Yes, they are not satisfied. They are not. You see how wicked these people are so evil. They are not satisfied. They can never be. Until I die. And then they'll be slaves. And then they'll make. He's a Muslim. He's part of them. So he's waiting for them to come. So they'll make him like a Fonja. They'll make him the Ijo Caliphate. He will be the Sultan of Ijo. The things are where people don't know this. That's what he's thinking. Somebody said I should stop exposing them. So you know who we are. The man came in the expose what knows are you talking about? So in their next life, they will not lie. Every time lies. What? How did I said I will not vote last election, that's all. And they kicked off. Because he's taking money from his friends in the north. And I'm asking you, can you please, you claim you're a militant, can you tell me where you fought battle with Nigerian government before? I have videos of mine. Can you show me a video of you? Show me, tell us the date and time when you fought this battle with Nigeria. If not for Henry Yoka, you're nobody. Henry Yoka made you who you are. You were busy stealing oil from doing a bit of bunkering. That's what you were doing. You are nobody. Nobody. Nobody agrees so far as freedom fighting is concerned. After taking money from me, you're lying. So you don't know how smart our people are. You think that when he said, oh, I gave you, I didn't give any money directly, that they lost wisdom. I have men outside. IPOB is all over the world. I have men even for IPOB 24/7. Asebu gave you money. Are you going to deny it? Come out and do a video and say Uchen Asebu never gave me any money. Come out and say it now. Defense fund you never contributed to. America never contributed to some defense fund. The first fund we contributed was slightly, because I think it was about $140,000. Not what we spend in a month in IPOB. And you're talking rubbish. Nonsense. Talking pure crap. So you want to tell you where defense fund is, you can tell your friends. They're going to take it. It's only 140,000. Only. Shame on all of you. Defense fund, our defense fund. You in one the same. See how foolish you are. In the same breath, you said I am an IPOB member. In the same breath, you're saying our defense fund, the one that I gave you and you ate. No wonder your stomach is as big as it is. Fools everywhere. Nnamdi Azikiwe failed. So-called Igbo leaders, they have failed over the decades, and they will continue to fail because they cannot see. They're blind. They are blind. They cannot see. Let us look at the gist of a problem. Because the pig in the creek said, it's the Portuguese that came. They saw the water bubbling and they called it Biafra. This is how foolish he is. He doesn't even know the history of Biafra. Sometimes I just fold my hands and I'm just looking at them. If they're talking about the word Biafra is from here, I'm just laughing at them. No research. No thorough examination of anything. No laying out the facts. Just come at him. And so he has heard or maybe a Yoruba Irat say, Biafra is a Portuguese name. The idiot took it and made a fool of himself. Show me the word Biafra in Portuguese language. I challenge everybody. Show it to me. Show it to me. I dare you. Show it to me. And you know that Biafra is the anglicized version of the original name. Do you know the original name? You know you don't. These are the so-called intellectuals, man. You don't know the meaning of Biafra. You don't know where it came from. You don't know where you have no clue. You have no idea. You have no idea at all, at all, at all. But you're busy yapping nonsense as always. Yapping crap. Always. I will teach you this evening. I am going to look at the BBC wartime correspondent. I said to you yesterday that BBC is evil. I want to prove it to you today. Anything I say, when I push you, I show you to land. I can't come out to accuse you needlessly. I told you, Tony Nnadi I didn't say he's a fraud. I said he's a non-entity. He's a nobody. He's an errand boy for the establishment. I leveled 4 accusations against him. What do you think about to defend his that criminal? He said he should have seen I didn't support Modo's 100 naira per head every month. All the things I said about him, he couldn't defend. He couldn't defend any of them. You claim you're working for Biafra. All those idiots you're deceiving. You're the freedom fighter. I said, show me one document with Biafra in it, or with even your upper Niger or lower Nworiubi. Since we're asking them of the nearest river to my house is my village is Iyokata. Maybe I should form my own Iyokata Congress. Those who are living at home Imo will form Imo River Congress. Since we're now asking the names of streams and rivers. And those who are living near Otampa will answer Upper Otampa Congress. That's how daft you are. You claim you went to school. You want to name your people after a river, ordinary river. And you claim you said you went to school. You're educated. We are going back to Frederick Forsyth, a conscientious BBC correspondent. I want Biafrans to know who their enemies are, that they hate us, not for anything we have done, but because God blessed us as a race. If you don't know, listen carefully. This is Frederick Forsyth. The federal government in Lagos, that is Gowon's government, was a brutal, brutal military dictatorship. Has anything changed till today? With Aisha's boyfriend? Has anything at all changed? Look at what is happening today. Anytime the North is in power, there is absolute totalitarianism. The worst form of governance. This was happening in 1967. Frederick Forsyth was writing. The same thing you're here. That was why the man said, Alan, that Nigerians, politicians, and also Nigerians are all, you are all deceiving yourselves. That's what he said. Now listen. The federal government in Lagos was a brutal military dictatorship that came to power in 1966 in a bloodbath. During and following that coup, the northern and western regions were swept by a pogrom in which thousands of resident Igbos were slaughtered. This is a white man writing. The federal government did not lift a finger to save the slaughter of Biafrans, because when they say Igbo, once you come out and they start pursuing you to kill you, remember that our mothers tie two-piece wrapper. You don't know if the woman is from Asian. You don't know if she's from Ogoja. You don't know if she's from Calabari. You don't know if she's... Once they see you, you are tying two-piece wrapper, they pursue you and they kill you. Are you feeling what I'm saying? So there's not a party. They use the word, we're against Igbo, to make you to become very docile so they can conquer you. And Yoruba is the one shining the light, the torch. Torch. Yoruba is pressing torch for Fulani. You know that? Yoruba, they are the ones pressing their torch for Fulani to invade. If you think that as a Biafran, if you like Biafra, if you like Ibibio, if you like Urobo, once you're a Biafran, they hate you. It is natural. It's like being a Jew. There is nothing you can do about it. You are hated by nature. Do you understand that? Somebody wants to form lower Aba Congress. Oh, please don't form. It's Freeman, it's called. Please don't form Aba. They want to form Aba Lower Congress. Hey! Ignorance is a disease. Even with your so-called BSc, LLB, BA. It doesn't mean you have anything in your brain. Doesn't mean anything. Listen, they were killing Igbo people. Once your mom ties two-piece wrapper, you are a dead meat. The federal government did not protect our people. They never protected the Biafrans. Never. That even somebody that was British educated, then he was a Colonel Gowon. But listen to what a white man said. He said that Gowon was a puppet. Like Opposite. Listen, Gowon was a puppet. The true rulers were a group of northern colonels. The cabal did not start today. Fulani cabal did not start yesterday, or did not start with the death of Buhari in 2017. It's been there always. It was the cabal that said, because we want to kill Christians from the south, the best thing for us to do is to get the Christian from the north, from the middle belt, and support him to do killing for us. The same thing they're doing now. Instead of them to come and say, we are coming to take over your land, they said, no, they are resettling. So that when you're writing the word, you're saying is, when they say, it's Alamajiri. So you might be thinking, but what is Alamajiri? They wanted is the Fulani people who are coming to forcibly take over your land. That was what they did to go on. They said to go on, you will go for us. This was, you know, even the middle belt, they were filled with hatred and envy for the Igbo man. Middle belt, all of them, the TVs, they hate for no reason. The only reason why they hated an Igbo man was because an Igbo man was successful. God blessed him. Wherever he goes to, God will bless him. He will do well. He will be a... Don't mind their stinginess and their wickedness. That comes with it as natural as well. But they always did well. They said the zoo is jamming our radio back home. I don't know what is going on. I have no idea. But we're going to get far more superior systems than this. Don't worry about that. They know the gospel is hitting them very hard. They forgot that there will be a replay. People will replay and replay and replay and replay, so they're wasting their time. Don't worry yourself too much about that. They said the radio in Biafra land is down. Is that correct? Our deputy, is that? No, it's going very well from here, so I don't know why it should be down. I don't know. Are you sure it is down, or maybe some Yoruba trying to judge our people? I don't like Yoruba, of course. You know, some Yorubas fought for Biafra. Some Yoruba men fought and died for Biafra. And we remember them. their heroism and their bravery. Remember all of them. The Yorubas that fought and died for Biafra, we honor them. Those I am against are the traitors. The same way I am against the traitors in Biafra land. The same way I'm against the traitors in Igbo land. In a land, wherever I see traitors, I attack them. I can't stand them. A traitor should not be alive. They come to you and they pretend they're part of you. Hey, I'm fighting for you. Oh. But why are you not talking about the Fulani in our forest? That's when you know who is who. That's when you know who is who. We must continue. They never lifted a finger. They used to go on the front, him to go and do the Christians. The crisis deepened, and in early 1967, Eastern Nigeria, then our land, the land of Biafra, we sought restitution. Now listen to what the British did. I am going to shock all of you. Now you understand what is happening in Nigeria today is as a direct result of the wickedness of the British government of the time. I want to prove it to you. Listen very carefully. The British organized a Aburi conference. The reason why they organized it was not to find a peaceful solution. It is to give a cover, some sort of legitimacy for the genocide, for the Holocaust they were about to unleash. According to an Englishman, Frederick Forsyth, that said that what Britain did was a shame during the war. It was Britain that organized the Aburi conference. And in the Aburi conference, Gowon was there. Ojukwu was there. Two of them drank tea and brandy and agreed that the zoo called Nigeria will go back to a kind of a confederation. Back to the 1960, or should I say 1963 constitution. Are you following me? Everybody will be on their own, developing their resources. Do you know what happened? On returning back to Lagos, now listen to this, you'll be shocked. On getting back to Lagos, at the instigation of the British, in fact, the colonies, the cabal in the north, including the Benin, understand this, it is the truth, including then the Oba of Benin, the Oba of Benin. Lord have mercy, it is the truth, it's history. They ganged up because of their hatred for the Igbo man. They said, no, we no go agree, we no agree. Do you know they tore up a Aburi conference? And they asked Gowon, I think it was last year, why didn't you up Aburi conference? He said because Ojukwu came back and announced it first. Can you see? He's the one they said is living there. And they said somebody invited him to come to Biafra land to pray. I am looking for the name of that person. I can't find. And I'm telling the whole world today, please, can you give us the name of the person inviting me to go on? Give us his name. So you're telling me that in Israel, after killing 6 million people, that although Hitler is dead, his children can be invited to come to Israel? Do you see how foolish we are? Do you see when I say that an Igbo man is a poison unto himself? Do you see what I'm saying? Forget all that nonsense you are saying. His verse matters. They are poison unto themselves. You want to go and invite somebody that killed 5 million of us in a period when we are crying over the death of our people? Somebody wants to go and bring Gowon to come and pray. Go and bring him now. Go and bring him. No problem. Go and bring him. And then you will know what will happen to you. They are around useless set of people. It was Gowon that destroyed the Aburi conference based on the advice from the generals, from the colonels, from the north, the cabal from the north. Fulani, on advice from the British, said no. But that was negotiated. So now, why would Britain say no to confederation? Because Britain wanted to concentrate power in the hands of the Fulani they know are very foolish, very primitive. They know that very well. That is how they can be taking oil and gas, and nobody will bother. All they need to do is to say to Fulani, do you want to remain in power? Fulani will say yes. Then the British will say, we'll continue to take your oil without paying. The reason why there is a place called Nigeria is because the powers that be, those who the people that are called the stakeholders in the zoo, not you animals from Nigeria, no, Europeans. They take oil for free from the zoo. For free. They don't have to pay for it. That is why. So they are afraid. If you elect a sensible... Some of you don't know that Jonathan was removed because it was coming to a period of oil licensing renewal. Some of you didn't know that. No, you didn't know. The oil licensing renewal in 2016. So Jonathan had to be out before 2016. That's how they got rid of him in 2015. So he didn't know that before. It's our oil. You want us because of our oil. Idiots everywhere. Look at the pig. He doesn't even know. He doesn't know these things. They said no to Aburi because Britain said to Fulani, you want to give you want Britain to hand over Nigeria to you. They said yes. Okay, then say no. Fulani said no. But the same accord you negotiated. Why then are you invading Biafra land and claiming that Biafra seceded? This is how they lied to everybody. They went to history books. Oh, secessionist nation, Biafra. You can never go there and see that there was an agreement, an Aburi Accord, that Nigeria broke at the instigation of Britain. The same Britain went and told historians, told geographers, told commentators, Biafra is a secessionist state. Do you see how many enemies you have and how powerful they are? It is not everybody who comes to you and says to you, I am fighting for Biafra, that is fighting for Biafra. Like those idiots, like the idiot, Lower Niger Congress has nobody. It's only one man running from one studio to the other. Only one person. They're promoting him because he sponsors in the Nnamdi Kanu, that's all. A man of integrity and honor. So we are led to believe. But we know what happened at the Biafran Navy sector in Uguta. We know. I'm not going to go into that. Now you understand. Some of you are so easy to deceive. Then you guys can come out and say, I'm for Biafra. The next thing you guys say, why don't you all cooperate together? Because we don't know anything. We don't know it. We don't reason. Anybody can come out now. So you don't know that the Janjaweed can sponsor people. It is called Osho Propagator. You don't know they can sponsor people to come and pretend fighting for Biafra. Just to be giving them information. Don't you know that? How come your brain? So anybody who gets up in the morning and says, I'm fighting for Biafra, I'm here. The next rubbish you will hear is, why don't all of you cooperate together? Oh, dear me. We must continue. Frederick Forsyth went on to say that it was the killings of our people and the failure of Aburi that led Ojukwu to declare Biafra 53 years ago. Yesterday. He said, to this very day, I have come to attest to the true meaning of this Niger Delta. It is not a language that is known to any of us. None whatsoever. But it was an English word. The word Niger is the anglicized version of the Latin word niger, which means black. Because when I explain something, I explain it right to the source. I don't cut it from the middle. Niger is anglicized version of nigger, black. That's what it means. So the correct word is Niger Delta, if you want. Niger Delta. Is that your name? And anybody say, we are Niger Delta. Is your name? Are you a nigger? Are you a nigger? Answer me. Because if you are, we'll start calling you niggers then. Because Niger is the English version of nigger, which is Latin for black. Is it making sense? Is your stupidity now becoming a little bit clearer? Just a little bit. The Delta region. And I have asked you many times, there is a Delta region in Mississippi in America. Are you related to them? There is a Delta region in Limpopo. Are you related to them? There are people inhabiting the Delta region of the Nile, the Great Nile. Are you close to them? Why are you making a mockery of your stupidity by talking about Niger Delta as if you're dumb? Talking about Niger Delta as if you're hopeless. You didn't go to school. Oh dear me. Oh dear me. It's the English word given to us. We cannot allow it to hold. Adaka Boro fought under that banner. I respect that. But it was a mistake. It should not have happened. It shouldn't. I don't condone evil. It should not have happened. It was wrong. It was wrong for the BBC and the British government to connive together to destroy Biafra. It was conniving between BBC. The BBC that brought you, because of IPOB, they gave you BBC. The job of BBC was to neutralize IPOB. They came, found out now what Atakatelo. You can't do anything to us. They came with their tricks and their games. They found out how formidable IPOB is. And we have them, is all we're going to keep them until Biafra comes. Then we review their position. But BBC can never be a friend of Biafra. Not now, not tomorrow, not ever. Don't say I didn't warn you. All of you idiots, I went to BBC. I gave an interview to BBC. They brought their bodyguard, henchmen. They thought I was coming with IPOB to try and fight them. I gave an interview in English and in Igbo language. Before that, when I was in prison, my wife gave an interview to BBC and to BBC English. You know what they did? They cut it. She gave an interview for 50 minutes. They cut it down to 3 minutes only. That's what I knew they were evil. I said, okay, let me try the method. I came out. In London, I went to BBC where they hired. They didn't want me to come to their studio. They didn't want to offend the Fulani by asking me to come to BBC Bush House to do an interview. They sent me to what's it called, what's the name again? To Canning Town, more or less. To Canning Town, yes. I did an interview. BBC English, BBC Igbo. Till today, the BBC English never aired. Till today, the BBC Igbo, they of course, he tried, that young man. I feel sorry for them. And when I go against BBC Igbo, it's not about our people working there. No, I have nothing against them. A man must work. They must eat something. They must feed their families. I understand that. But BBC is evil. They don't mean well for Biafra. Not now, not tomorrow, not ever. I know them on a personal level, a personal experience. All the things I said about the zoo, they never published. Never. Because I saw one girl, I think she's from, I don't know where she's from. Her face wasn't very happy. Because in the interview, of course, they asked me why they call Nigeria zoo and explained the meaning to them. And the Igbo girl was saying, yeah. It's true. That is a zoo. Who doesn't know that? Only a fool. Forsyth said, listen, I arrived in the Biafra capital in Enugu on the 3rd day of the war. In London, I had been copiously briefed by Gerald Waters, the head of the BBC West Africa Service. BBC, oh, please listen, BBC. What I did not know was that he was the obedient servant of the government's Commonwealth Relations Office, which later metamorphosed into the FCO, which believed every word of its High Commissioner in Lagos. I want you to listen. After today, you will not doubt anything I tell you in life. You can never, I can't lie. And I'm at God is my witness, I don't lie. What for? Are you going to beat me? If I tell you the truth, can you do anything to me? The answer is no. So I tell you the truth. Remember, all these years I've been telling you that the ambassadors they have in Nigeria never relay the truth back home. They never do. And here is a proof. As far back as 1967, when Igbo people were being slaughtered in the north, by which I mean Biafrans, when Biafra land was under siege, when Gowon reneged on Aburi, the British High Commissioner in Lagos was relaying only lies back to London. He's here from Frederick Forsyth. He's a white man. He's an old man now, but a courageous one at that. Listen up. What I did not know was that this man called Gerald Watros was an obedient servant of the government's Commonwealth Office, which believed every word the British High Commissioner in Lagos, David Hunt, was feeding them. It took 2 days in Enugu to realize that everything I had been told was utter garbage. Everything the British government was saying about Biafra, everything the BBC was telling people was a lie. Do you see why I hate the BBC? Do you see why I feel? So, they claim he's an intellectual. So he doesn't know all these things. Why wouldn't Nyanwodo or any sensible person, having known all these things, accept to go to BBC on the 30th of May? Why would they? They can't come to us. They know they can't. They've come before, we tell them to go to hell. Now, do you understand? And when they went there, I couldn't ask BBC, why were you complicit in the death of our people? I was talking about 100 naira a month to review maybe a new airport. I don't know. You see, BBC? Now you believe me when I tell you that once you're a high commissioner, they didn't start today. Once you're an ambassador to Nigeria, the first thing they do is that they treat you well and give you as much money as you want. Right now, as we speak, if not for the work that IPOB did in America, the work that the concerned Christians did in the Middle Belt, nobody would know what happened in this group. Nobody would know. Nobody would know. Do you know why? American ambassador has been America, USA, bribed. EU, bribed. Britain, I said bribed, given solid cash. Not to report the truth from Nigeria. They don't know what is happening. Ask yourself. People dying every day, accidental shooting, should I say accidental discharge, everywhere, bombs going off, killings everywhere. Have you seen it on BBC News? Have you seen it on CNN? The videos covering the death? No. No. They're playing with us. BBC, I'm not blaming BBC. BBC is my Facebook, all the same people. Reduce it now. Why are you leaving me at 6.4? Reduce it to only 2 people. And you see if I will stop or if I will continue. Mad people everywhere. You're playing. You don't know where IPOB. These things you're doing, you think it can frustrate us? It must be daft. Very daft indeed. We must continue. We must continue what we are saying. BBC is evil in every way. Every ambassador sent to the zoo, they have come to do the devil's work, to do the devil's bidding. They are locking our systems everywhere. Everywhere they are locking it up. I don't know why they are doing it, but that's entirely up to them. Entirely up to them. Entirely up to them. We are live and we are direct, and we are preaching the truth here. I had been briefed that the brilliant Nigerian army will kill off Biafra in 2 weeks or in 4 weeks at least. This is what Britain was saying. Britain said that Gowon's army, Nigerian army, will defeat Biafra in 4 weeks. Fortunately, the Deputy High Commissioner in Enugu, Jim Parker, a white man, told me what was really happening. It became clear, he's a white man right to go, it became clear that the rubbish believed by the Commonwealth Office and the BBC stemmed from British High Commissioner in Lagos, a white man, British High Commissioner in Lagos. Are you paying attention? Are some of you following? Are you paying attention? You better pay attention. It was from the British High Commissioner in Lagos. He was a racist. He was a snob. Do you know why he's a racist? Because he realized in his research that only Biafrans can make a black man stand like a white man. So he was angry with Biafra. You think they don't research? Once you write them, they start to research Biafra. They start to research what Biafra is all about. Don't you know that? They begin to research Biafra very, very well. They research Biafra. This one researched Biafra, discovered that we are the children of the Most High. That Elohim is with us. I'm telling you, do you know my system? As bizarre as it sounds, that's what they do. But we must continue because they can't stop us. They cannot stop us. The British High Commissioner was a racist and a snob. He knew what Biafra meant. He knew what Biafra represented. He wanted to squash Biafra. He didn't want the light of God to shine in Africa. He did not want Africans to go to good schools. He never wanted black people to have good hospitals. He didn't want us to be developed as human beings. He knew, the British knew, that the only hope that Africa has is Biafra. The white man knows this. That is why they suppress Biafra. That is why they don't want Biafra to come. And unfortunately, some Yoruba are doing the devil's work, supporting them. I was, of course, they're not. I'm sorry, Fulani is supporting them. You can see the wickedness and the hatred of a black man on a black man. Why don't you want Biafra to emerge? They don't know. They have no reason. They have no excuse. But what they know is that Biafra must not be. And what is the reason for that? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. That is how deadly the world is. And that is why I am bringing you this very gospel today. A gospel of heaven. I'm telling you the truth. They can't dispute what I'm saying. Nobody in their right mind can dispute what I'm saying. These are historical facts. Historical facts. They don't want Biafra to emerge, as the Bulgarians told Chief Justice P.K. Nwokedi of blessed memory. You know what they told P.K. Nwokedi? They said to P.K. Nwokedi, one Japan is enough. P.K. Nwokedi went to go and ask for help. They said one Japan is enough. We don't want another Japan in the world. They were referring to Biafra. When our kids invent something, you will expect white people to be happy, but they are not. How can niggers be producing machine? You think they're happy with Biafra? That is why when somebody goes out, when I see somebody fighting for Biafra, I know the frustrations you will encounter if you're not made of the right stuff, so to speak, you will give up. You think when our kids build toys that they're happy? No, Fulani is not happy. Yoruba is not happy now. Hey, because for Yoruba, his greatest achievement in life is that he has a higher position than an Igbo man. That's all. It doesn't matter what the Fulanis are doing. Yoruba is okay with it. The only problem Yoruba has is an Igbo man beneath me. That's all. People don't know the meaning of Biafra. I look at them and I laugh. I say, do you know what you're fighting for? Do you think this? Oh, but when is this your Biafra coming? When is it coming? You're talking too much. You should come down and start fighting. Oh, dear me. The worst war you can fight is one in which you're not prepared. The invasion of Biafra land took the Janjaweed nearly 40 years to plan. 40 years. The conquest, this conquest is executing now, 40 years to plan. They have the war chest. Their war chest now stands at nearly $22 billion US. That is the Fulani war chest to maintain their hegemony. An Igbo man cannot bring out $100,000. It's impossible. Instead, go and take his village. Instead of an Igbo man to bring out $100,000 to defend his land, it's better for you to go and take his village. And that's why the Fulanis have come. They know Igbo, there is no way an Igbo man can bring out money to buy weapons. It's impossible now. They know it. That's why they have come. And as they have come, they gave you the tractors like the pig from the creek, the idiot of Upper Niger, what rubbish is called, to be confusing you. Oh, you are doing something. Oh, can you, Janjaweed and your village, oh, can you see this constitution? Here, it says the preamble. I was up, but I got. You're talking about preamble in constitution. Preamble. Oh, dear me. We must continue. We are live and direct. The whole world is listening. Mankind is at attention. This is Radio Biafra. When we preach, everywhere comes to a standstill. Then they know it's the truth. The whole truth and nothing but the truth. Go, come home and fight now. Come on, idiots. Mandela went on exile. George Washington went on. Everybody. Jesus Christ on exile. Moses on exile. Prophet Muhammad on exile. They don't, because they don't go to school. They don't read. They know nothing. As soon as they graduate, they call them from a politician will call them 3,000 naira a week. Irat. They say, all correct, sir. All correct. After doing cultism in school, they come in and start yapping rubbish. They don't know history. That just like the Greek pig, he doesn't know history. Biafra is a map, it's a confluence of River Nun, and River Nun met River Cross, and the water was turning, and it's Biafra. Idiot. Look at what is coming out of the idiot's mouth. So you go for an interview, they ask you, oh, this is Biafra you're fighting for. Well, what does it actually mean? He says, the river came, it's from River Nun to Gabon, and the water was swimming, and the Portuguese saw it, and the name is Biafra. Hey! Arrow. Let me tell you what is happening. Listen very carefully, please. Listen very, very carefully. My brief was to report the all-conquering Nigerian army according to foresight. It did not happen. It did not happen. Naively, I filed this. When my report was broadcast, our High Commissioner complained to the Foreign Office because I told the truth from Enugu. I said I'm in Enugu. The so all-conquering Nigerian army, I can't see them. They are not here. Britain got angry. Are you listening? I don't know why we argue with some zoo animals. They don't have any brain. They can't reason properly. That's why they're in Nigeria. Somebody is a Nigerian. How do you expect that person to reason properly? A Nigerian is an animal. They don't reason very well. These are wild beasts in the forest. They can't reason. We are the vice president is in charge of toilet. And the secretary to the government is the one making policy pronouncements. And you're telling me that they're normal? You're exchanging words with somebody who's an animal. Their vice president elected, allegedly, is now in charge of used toilet, how to revive latrine. And somebody who wasn't elected, Boss Mustafa, is now doing the job of the vice president. And you want to debate with such people, such fools, such idiots? Hey, my goodness. They say I insult them a lot, that people are listening. I said, because we are fools. If we are not fools in Africa, why are we always finding things difficult? You have nothing. Your life is always upside down on a daily basis. Change it, you won't change. Allow those that want to change you. No. Hey, it's you. I reported the truth from Enugu. I reported it, the truth as it was, as I saw it. But the BBC were biased. They accused me of being pro-Biafra and record me back to London. For writing the truth, I was sent back to London. 6 months later, in February 1968, fed up with all the slavishness of BBC, to Whitehall, BBC connived. BBC, they hate Biafra. BBC is anti-Igbo. BBC wants to destroy Biafra. BBC has been sent by the devil to destroy Biafra. According to Frederick Forsyth, not me. Frederick Forsyth. Why the British hate us, I have no idea. Why they hate us, I have no. Why Britain wants to see every Biafran killed, I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why. I keep asking them. Then why is it you want every woman killed? Why do you want every Biafran killed? What have we done to you? What did we do? Nothing, no reason, but all of you must die. The vice president is in charge of toilet. According to Frederick Forsyth, listen carefully. I was recalled back to London, but I got fed up. I said, to hell with you. I'm going back to Africa. And Ojukwu received me and said to me, So you have rejected the British propaganda. This very article is there, it's in the open. Everybody can read it. Instead of Ohaneze and Dioshi, the so-called, all those idiots, they call the idiots, they call elite. Instead of them to go and read all these things, arm themselves with the facts and figures, then go outside and preach Biafra. They won't do it. Igbo should hurry up for 2023 is around the corner. They think they're talking to fools. They think we don't have any brain. They think we know nothing. That's what they actually think. So if you say presidency is around the corner, an idiot will start jumping and campaigning and we'll vote for the fool. But this is corruption this year. Do as I tell you. God is my witness. If you do exactly as I tell you, we'll bring the zoo down in 2020. Do what I ask you to do. Not when I ask you to do something, you don't do it. I start asking me better, which is what Sabo do. Sabo ask Sabo to do. Sabo will not do it. And then he'll come and ask you, but you said Biafra is going to come. But that thing you ask Sabo to do, Sabo will not do it. Never. That's who they are. That is the way they are. It was BBC. The obliteration of the Igbo race was the priority of the British. And they prepared the Fulani Janjaweed to carry it out for them. What I find shocking is that Biafra men who should have recognized this danger from time, they have all abandoned their duty to listen to gossip from traitors, to listen to people like Tony Nara that has nothing upstairs. Absolutely nothing. Done nothing for Biafra. Nothing. Afraid to use the word Biafra. Afraid. Afraid. And is fighting for Biafra through Lower Niger. So I can fight for Biafra now through lower Ojeta stream. You're not proud of who you are. And you claim you're fighting for me. By lying. Wherever I go to, you go to. By lying against me. I don't know who you are. I've not done anything with you before. And you're lying against me. Because you're working for the enemy. And your days are numbered, I assure you. Your days are numbered. Come to Biafra land now. Kadara nonsense in Abuja in Lagos. Just jumping up and down like a canary. Just nothing. Come to Biafra land. Within 24 hours, you'll be eaten alive. Your flesh will be torn off your bones. You'll be eaten alive. Because you're an evil man. You must tell the world that thing I stole from you. You must tell the world who I scammed. Because we have IPOB all over the world. You're calling it a franchise. All over the world. How do we get our people to understand what we are doing? Do you know the meaning of the word franchise? Do you know the meaning of the word franchise? I'm asking you. So when ANC was fighting, people were protesting about the word franchise. Hey. All you liars and workers of iniquity, it shall never be well with all of you. Never. Do what I ask you to do and Biafra will come. Just do it. And you see what will happen. The answer relaxing. Let COVID-19 finish. I will come with fire and brim. You see that as a rock? It will melt before your eyes. I will so much disgrace Nigeria. The way I will disgrace Nigeria. Oh, Chineke. The way if they see a Nigerian, they will deport the idiot. Once you say a Nigerian, you deported. How I will disgrace Nigeria. Any year that in a million years to come, will say God was with them. I'm telling you the truth. Let COVID-19 finish. All that nonsense. Today, the boy is light skinned. Tomorrow, they're not quite sure of his color. The other day, he's 45-year-old. Another one is 22. Nobody knows what's happening. All that game, you idiots. All that game that Yoruba is helping the Fulani to protect. You know, Asarok is empty. Every idiot. I didn't say reasonable people. Because if you're reasonable, you would have known long time ago. Even idiots in the zoo, they know Asarok is empty. They know it. They know there is no president. They have not seen us. All we hear is Osibajo open toilet. Osibajo is now refurbishing used toilet. No one has seen him. Do you think we are stupid? Asorok, do you think we are hopeless? Do you think that BBC not reporting what is happening in Asorok makes you safe? Who has not seen that there is no president in the zoo? Who hasn't seen that all the photoshopping going on? Are you telling me that BBC in Abuja, BBC in Lagos, they have not seen all the Photoshop pictures? Is that what you're telling me? Is that what you're telling me? Mad people everywhere. These idiots in the fallen tree, man. Yeah, tell us the strategy. So if I tell you, you can't tell your masters in the north. But the strategy is working, isn't it? That is why everywhere is shaking. The reason why they are panicking everywhere is because they know IPOB, we are relentless, we are remorseless. We keep pursuing. We keep pursuing until we overtake, we overcome, and we subdue. You want me to tell you our strategy? What is your own strategy for removing the Fulani from our land? What is your strategy? You have none. Oh, show us your map. One simple explanation. Does your mom tie two-piece wrapper and they disappeared? Have you ever heard them again say, well, show us your boundary? That one is gone. And then after my exposure yesterday, today they have nothing to say. It's now about 100 naira in BBC program. I was having a sip of water. The Yoruba bought into all the garbage because it places an Igbo man beneath them. That is why Yoruba is supporting evil today. Yoruba knows there is no president. Yoruba media, they know very well that Oshibajo is in trouble. They have not seen Oshibajo for a long time. But the only fear they have is that once we announce it, the zoo will collapse and the world will say Nnamdi Kanu has been vindicated. What their fear is the Yoruba pastors, because their businesses will collapse. The world will say to them, how come you did not see this thing that Nnamdi Kanu saw? That is why they're closing it up. If you don't know, let me tell you, you don't know how many enemies you have. You have no idea. Toilet, vice president, and Yoruba are just smiling every day. We are Nigerians. Hey, I don't support evil. We don't support evil we don't and can never. And that is how Biafra is going to be. We can never support evil. Not now, not tomorrow, not ever. Do you know why I say the things that I do? Because we are whiter than white and whiter than snow. Spotless. That is why I say all the things that I do. If you don't know what I did, come out and say it. Defense fund, did you contribute? No. Do you know how much was contributed all over the world? No. Today I'm telling you, $142,000 all over the world. And we have it. Mokoko. Useless fools everywhere. Useless fools everywhere. Mad people. Maybe. Everywhere. Everywhere. But things changed. British covert interference. Britain started to work for the zoo because Nigeria could not defeat Biafra. This is according to a white man. Nigeria could not defeat Biafra, and because of that, Britain got upset. Britain was very, very upset. They started to interfere in the war. They started to advise the Janjaweed from the north. They started to supply them with weapons. Contrary to the agreement, Britain started to give weapons to go on. Fresh weapons to go on. Britain now set up an advisory committee. That was why I said that the Biafra War was the Third World War. That is what I was expecting. That was what I expected to say yesterday. Biafra War was the Third World War. Britain could not fight Biafra direct. They used the Fulanese and the Yorubas, the global Yorubas, to fight Biafra. It is here in secret papers from Britain. Britain fought Biafra, not Nigeria. Someone say, oh, Nigerians, you are talking rubbish. It was Britain. It is here. Official government papers, official British papers from a British war correspondent. Britain gave military support advisors to Nigeria. The same way that Britain gave advice to the Jordanian army to defeat Israel in 1947. Britain, I don't know if Britain has been programmed to fight the children of God everywhere. I don't know why. They have that in them. The entire officer class of the Jordanian army in 1947, 1948 were made up of the British just to kill Israel. Are you aware of that? The same thing that Britain did. But do you know why they succeeded? Britain succeeded because of the template we used during the war. Chukwu Kikabiama was not ready. Now he's ready. Just do as we tell you and watch miracles happen before your eyes. Just as you're told. Britain was now fighting the war using Hausa, using Fulani, I will say, and Yoruba. And remember what I told you, all that Yoruba wants in life is for an Igbo man to be beneath. That is all. That is the ambition. No other ambition is, am I doing better than an Igbo man? That is their only ambition in life. And that is the truth. According to Frederick Forsyth, Britain set up a war advisory team for the Nigerian army. They inched into Biafra land. And we fought and pushed them back. Now, Britain could not win the war on its own using Fulani and Yoruba media, propaganda, and lies. They now went to Russia to go and beg Russia. Russia brought in what is called the illusion bombers used in the Second World War. Russia deployed in that tiny Biafra, that same small Biafra, that small Biafra. Britain came to support Janjaweed and the Yoruba. Britain could not defeat Biafra. They went to Russia to go and bring Russia to join them, to help them to fight. Biafra War was the Third World War. I want to educate the world to know what happened. Something Okoko, the pig in the creek doesn't know. They brought Russian bomber illusion. They were dropping 1,000-pound bombs on the villages of Biafra land. Russians were bombing Russia. Now ask me, how did we offend Russia? In what way? Somebody should tell me. Did we ever offend Russia? How? Why would Russia come to an impoverished, poor African country and be dropping bombs on them? And mind you, at that time was the height of the Cold War. Russia was fighting Cold War with Britain. Ask yourself this question. What would cause two enemies, Britain and Russia, in the Cold War, to now come together to go and fight one small, tiny, impoverished African country? As any day you answer that question, I know you're intelligent. Have you asked yourself that question? Why would Britain make peace with Russia to go and kill black Africans? Because Biafra is special. Now you understand. Let's continue. Russians are dropping bombs in our villages. We did nothing to Russia. We don't know who they are. They are like LNC, these lower people. We don't know who they are. But from somewhere they're dropping bombs on us. We don't know who you are. Russia came to kill us as well. Unbelievable. Missionaries knew and noticed what had happened, and they were coming out of the forest with children suffering from kwashiorkor. Roman Catholic Church, they did very well. I commend them, especially those from Ireland, the Irish missionaries. May God bless them immensely. The Roman Catholic Church did a lot. The Anglican Church did nothing. They said they formed the Church of Missionary Societies. They came down. They said they have they were coming to deliver relief. All was just camouflage, so that we can be going to Anglican Church and giving them money all the time. The people that came and worked hard on the ground was the Catholics. They were the Catholics. They came and they worked very hard on the ground. As the residence guide for the foreign news teams, I became somewhat overwhelmed But at last, the full secret involvement of the British government started to be exposed. Britain was fighting Biafra, not this. Who is Alamaji to fight Biafra? You know, we are going to fight very soon. And when that war commences, Britain can no longer come in. Because now, the whole world have eyes and ears. We will only fight the Alamajiri from the north. And you see what we're going to do to them. There will be no more British help. Maybe the Chinese will try and help them. But we'll see what will happen. Our people think that they can run away from the war. The war is coming. You can't escape it. It's God's punishment on the Igbo race for selling their own kind. Slavery. All those people dying and being killed in America by white policemen. Your ancestors sold them. Before the white man came, you started to sell your people. God, you know God, he forgives, but he doesn't forget. There will always be a price to pay. And that price is about to be unleashed. I'm sorry to tell you this. That's what you're afraid of. You're about to fight it now. The Fulanis brought it to your homes. And if you survive after this, then you know indeed you're destined to survive. People are going to die. I'm sorry to tell you this. People will die. We must continue. We must continue. Kwashiorkor everywhere. That same July, the Daily Express of London, another UK newspaper, the cameraman David Keynes ran off a score of rolls of film and took them to London. Back then, the British public had no idea what was happening. Do you know why? Because the BBC would not broadcast the truth as to what is happening on the ground. As Biafrans were dying of Kwashiorkor, brought in by Awolowo, or Bafemi Awolowo's Kwashiorkor. Death by starvation. Death by starvation. BBC never reported it. The same way they are not reporting the Janjaweed invading our land today. You ask BBC, oh, but I went to Soka and we asked them, they said it's one village fighting another, as if we are foolish. BBC, but you are telling us that we are dumb, we have no brain, that what we are seeing every day, would that, oh, Chineke, BBC. Hey, BBC. The British public never knew. The British public did not know because the BBC failed to report the truth. British Broadcasting Corporation, why did they not report the truth? Because the UK public would have asked them, what are you doing about this? BBC was working hand in hand with the government to cover a Holocaust. If our people working for BBC had any shame, they would resign tonight. If they had any honor. BBC was evil. Evil. They are part of our problem as a race. We must continue. The people in England now discovered there were now questions in the House of Commons. A conservative MP, out of anger, named the child Biafra. Out of anger, a British lawmaker named the child Biafra. John Lennon was upset, returned his OBE. John Lennon, the famous John Lennon of Beatles, said, no, this is evil. It wasn't done by the BBC. This one was done by the Daily Express, a newspaper. Now you know who your enemies are. Go and talk about Biafra now at the UN. You know what will happen to you. If they won't pass you there. They know what you don't know, that God loves you. You are the chosen children of God, the children of light. That is why Yoruba will envy you. They know God loves you. God blessed you from your mother's womb. They know this. Everybody in Africa, they know. That is why Yoruba's height of achievement in life is to see a subdued Igbo man, and the Yoruba man is happy. Because the Yoruba man knows what you don't know. A Yoruba man knows that you are blessed. He knows that God, he knows you're a special talent. And subduing you is the highest achievement of a Yoruba man in life. as the resident guide to foreign news teams, I became somewhat overwhelmed. The World Council of Churches helped to buy some stupid aircraft. And Portugal helped. Portugal. They helped. God will bless them. And all the people that came that flew the aircraft. There was even one called Jesus Christ Airlines. Oh dear. The people that brought us Jesus Christ killed us. And that is what I find very funny with the British. They colonized us and gave us Bible and Christianity. Yet they supported the Muslims to kill Christians. The irony of the whole thing is just laughable. Honestly speaking. Just laughable. Oh, dear me. Laughable. Facebook is trying their best. They will replay it over and over again. It will be replayed. Britain gave us Bible, no? Jesus Christ said this, if they slap you, Jesus Christ says, love one another and love your neighbor. The same people that gave us the Bible, no? St. Andrews, St. Matthew's Church, St. Frederick, St. Agnes. They joined the people answering Abu Bakr, answering Mustafa, answering Abdul Muttalib to kill Christians. Hey. Jesus Christ Airlines. Oh dear. Black, this UG. Black people, black. God forbid. Such stupidity is unbelievable. On a visit to London in the spring of 1969, I learned the efforts of the British establishment, the entire British government. They said, we must kill Biafra. They organized themselves to say, we'll kill Biafra. Every reporter, every journalist, every peer, every parliamentarian, every member of the House of Lords, every member of the House of Commons who had visited Biafra and reported on what they had seen, the carnage, the death, everything. Yet they sat down and said, nobody should talk about Biafra. Meanwhile, Russia was his bombing, so Egypt came, Egypt joined them all, OAU joined them all to fight Biafra. And I'm asking the British, but before you came, we didn't know who the Fulanis were. How can we secede? I'm in my land. How can I secede from my own land? Was there any Nigeria before you came? The answer is no. So how can I secede from my own land? I don't understand it. How can you call me a secessionist? Oh, I am seceding from something a white man created. Oh, you should have told me now. A white man created Nigeria. So Nigeria is now superior to Biafra, superior to Duduwa, superior to Arewa. So anything a white man says is superior. If you want to break away from what a white man created, you're a secessionist. You are a secessionist. But when they were joining us together, what is the use of secession? I mean, I don't know. You are a, how can I put it? A colonialist. But it's good. Nigeria is good, but Biafra is not good. Why is Biafra not good? Because Biafra is African. And Nigeria is European. You see? That white, black supremacy. That was what the Yorubas bought into. Very sad indeed. Very, very sad indeed. And Her Britannic Majesty Elizabeth II saw all of these things and did nothing. Because they hate Biafra. They have received their reports. You know these people that they are refining their own fuel? Do you know they're building aircraft? They're modifying aircraft? Do you know, do you want an African country to emerge, a bunch of niggers to be building an aircraft? I said, no. Nobody wants to see a nigger building aircraft. Oh. We want them in the farms, in the plantations. We want to kill them anytime we like. Nobody should support Biafra. That was what happened. Hausa people are not bad. Somebody is writing a Hausa person. I'm not saying that Hausa is bad. Everybody is good. I'm even sure that There are some Yorubas who are good. There are some Igbo people who are good. There are some Biafrans who are good. There are some Ijo people who are good. There are some, even Fulani. I'm sure there are 1 or 2 Fulani people with conscience. I'm not saying that. But it's that the majority are evil. That's the problem. The majority of Igbo people are selfish and very greedy. That is how it is. And that is what has led to their destruction. Or should I say the impending destruction. And for the majority of the Yoruba, being above an Igbo man is the highest achievement in life. It doesn't matter. If not, why would they know that Asarok is empty, that Buhari is dead, yet they are covering it up? Ask yourself why. Ask yourself why. What is it that Yoruba can say we are gaining from Nigeria? What is that thing that will make them support Nigeria? Because of their hatred for an Igbo man. That's all. If not, then tell me what else. Give me a reason why they want one Nigeria to. I know why family wants one Nigeria. Because they are lazy, they are primitive, they know nothing. I asked you before, how many Fulani have you seen? How many doctors have you seen from Fulani land? Why do you think they always go outside to contract outside? Because they said it from the beginning. Biafrans are smart. We don't want them to be doing bridges for us. They don't want it because to make them look bad. That is the truth. What is it? I don't want to exceed. It's gone past 2 hours. I must quickly proceed. I wanted to teach something slightly small about the pig in the creek and his nonsensical offerings about Biafra and the origin of Biafra. He's a bite of it to tell you how dumb and how foolish he is. He doesn't know Biafra. I want to school him. There are 3 names for Biafra. No, 4 actually, 4 names. One is called Biafra. I've said this many times, listen. Biafar, Biafra. One is called Biafraese. One is called Afara, Afara, where I come from. I'll publish all these things later. Where I come from, Afara. Biafara, Afara. There is Biafra. He doesn't know all these things. He said it's from River Mount to River Fernando, talking rubbish. But I want to let him know that the Biafra people, or should I say kingdom, was in the Cameroons. Located in the Cameroons. The same Biafra. What he doesn't know is when I tell you something, I substantiate historical facts. Facts. Indisputable. Allow me to teach this once again tonight, and perhaps for the final time. I will make reference to it now and again. Please. The pig from the creek attempting to play the role of a go-on for the caliphate. Because they're using him, unless you can see, but not the caliphate. They're using him, of course. Anybody comes and leave him now, let him, the person is one of them. The pig in the creek. He decided to try to show that he's an intellectual. He mentioned Chief Franco Pigo, that we all respect and revere very much. And a German that he knew more than Ojukwu, that our name was Biafra. And he gave Ojukwu the reason why we should. Not because of bats of Biafra, no. He didn't know that Franco Pigo was a historian. He was the principal of Okrika Grammar School, one of the best schools you have in Biafra land. Secondary school wise, of course. He didn't know that. So he thought Franco Pigo was like him. A tout. Maybe a bit of oil bunkering. When he was about to take kerosene to small glass, he saw somewhere and said, oh, the Portuguese saw water moving. I said, oh, it's Biafra. This idiot doesn't know the pig in the creek. He does not know that Franco Pigo was a historian. And what did Franco Pigo discover? He recommended the name not because he's an John distributory or expiring now, because he knew what our name was. Facebook is not happy about this, but I'll tell you. I want to bury his ignorance tonight. Completely and totally. I want to bury the ignorance of the big in the congregation. I want to bury his ignorance about Biafra this night. So next time we will not talk rubbish. I sequencing one after the other. So you understand what I'm saying. Listen carefully, please. The conspiracy, you see what the British are doing? It didn't start today. Oh. The conspiracy against Biafra goes back almost 300 years, starting from the Portuguese. It was the Portuguese, it was a Jewish man with the Portuguese that recognized that this is also of the Jewish family. There was a map drawn up by Robertson of Shoreditch. I've said this before. When there was only Zamfara, Benin, and Biafra. Robertson traveled, was an explorer, traveled through the desert and came into Zamfara and asked the Zamfara kings, who are the people living over there? The Zamfara kings told him, they are the lost tribe of Israel. I have the map. Now, we proceed carefully and very methodically. The name Biafra came from the Afar region of Ethiopia, the root of the second migration from the land of Samaria. That is the reason why only the Biafran people are light-skinned on the coast of West Africa. Listen to me very carefully. I said the only place where you can come to and they give birth to somebody who is almost white is only in Biafra land. Because of our bloodline from the land of Samaria, from the land of Ephraim and Manasseh. This is the second wave of the migration, all the way from Kush land. They migrated into Sudan, into Ethiopia, the Afar region of Ethiopia. As they were migrating through that route, coming into the Cameroons, they retained their name, the calling of the house of Ephraim and Manasseh. They had to call the calling of the house of Ephraim and Manasseh. They came through Afar. Do you know what happened? Geography tells us that when they were in Cameroon, they were called the Afar people, Biafra, B-I-A-F-A-R. As the migration continued into where we are today, the Portuguese came and recognized who they were. They could not pronounce Biafra. They called them Biafra. Listen very carefully, please. There was a man that wrote something. Because successive kings of England, of Portugal, they suppressed all the information concerning their travel to Africa. They knew who their friends were, so they didn't want to write about it. It's in Portugal. Listen carefully, please. So, under the reign of King John II, 1481 to 1495, the Portuguese went to a great length to hide the history of Biafra. I'm giving you facts and figures, not where I was talking up and down. The Germans came after them. After that, Manuel I took over and made a royal decree. Anybody found discussing about West Africa and about Biafra will be put to death. These are official Portuguese papers. I know Facebook is going mad by this time. Here we teach history. However, there was a man called Duet Pacheco Pereira who lived from 1460 to 1533. 1460 to 1533. He wrote papers that after his death were published as a collection called the Esmeralda, to learn history, not rush. I teach you history for free. And as I'm teaching you, I'm giving you references. That is why the name Biafra is sacred to IPOB. None of you know, you don't know nothing about Biafra. You don't know nothing about it. All of you. Tonight I teach you what it means to be a Biafran. He wrote papers. He lived from 1460 to 1533. Those papers were called Esmeralda. It included writings on Africa and the Americas, and they were published. Even before Christopher Columbus claimed he went and discovered America, the Portuguese court were discussing Biafra. Duarte wrote, I'm sure the pronunciation is right, wrote in his Portuguese letters that the channel of the river, the pilot, the coastline of the land coming out into the sea, he gave the latitude to be 11 degrees north of the equator. Now, if you look at the 11 degrees north of the equator, which has changed over the years due to advancements in mapping and GPS, this coordination takes us now into the north central Nigeria, which is Idoma land. Are you listening to me? This is from Portuguese archives, scientific papers that the pig doesn't know about. You don't know what Biafra is. It's a Portuguese name. I look at the fools and I laugh at them. They know nothing. Absolutely nothing. They said this place is the confluence of this is the confluence where the water comes together, Benue River and Niger River. Elohim. So the land from Kogi down, as I have told you, Gala land. Hey, Chineke no nyeba. A Portuguese writer Duarte. His name is spelled D-U-A-R-T-E. The inhabitants of this country, they are called Biafraes. The spelling is B-E-A-F-A-E-S. How unukelem Chineke na binigwe? They wrote the same boundary that I told you. I told you Gala land is Biafra. I told you that Idoma land is Biafra, which is Lower Benue. I told you that was exactly the same place that God Almighty caused the advancement of the armies of the north under Queen Amina in Zaria almost 300 years ago. Did I not tell you that? I need you to tell me about map. They have not read. The LNC, they have not been to any library. They have not done any research. People talk rubbish. They don't know what they are talking about. They don't know what Biafra means. They don't know how deep Biafra is in the spiritual realm. They have no idea. That is why this book is mad now. Crazy. When I was preached the gospel of heaven, Elohim gave me a mandate to preach. And that's exactly what I'm doing. The message from heaven to the living, indisputable, geography, history, politics, government, all weaved into one, religion as well. That is. Kogi State to Benue, from where I told you, Gala land, Idoma land is Biafra. Even according to the Portuguese, they called it Biafra, yes. And we are subject of the king of the Mandibus. They were very black, and many were naked, and others wore cotton cloth. Hey, oh my goodness, they even bought some slaves from there. Why Elohim is angry with us? That is why a lot of people claim that Biafra is Portuguese name, because these Portuguese writer Duarte wrote about it. But when they came, they couldn't pronounce the name properly, which was Biafra. Afara my village. They named it Biafra. So the land from Kogi down to the Atlantic is Biafra. Duarte wrote that the island at the mouth of this bay, being the Biafra's Bonny, and the mainland, and listen very carefully. He described everything. He described, this is Portuguese, so Portuguese described everything. You know what I said? Duarte said, he said, the inhabitants of this land are Igbo. IGBO. Not Niger Delta. Not even Ijo. Because Ijo is a subgroup of Igbo. If they make noise, I'll prove it to them that we are all one people. Everybody came from Igbo. The Portuguese wrote that they're all Igbo people. And that Buta is the language of the Bantu tribe of Cameroon, of course. It is a mix. I'll get into that later on. It is worth knowing that the Portuguese came looking for the God of Eden. I don't want to say this on air before they stop giving us, before they say that Biafra will not come. But let me put it to you this way. The white man saw something. That was why one day I will tell you why they use Enugu as the capital of their administration in the East. Garden of Eden. One day I will teach you that why Enugu was chosen. Hey, the white man came looking for the Garden of Eden because they were told that the Garden of Eden is at the center of the world. And the center of the world is Biafra. And they came looking for it. That is why they don't want Biafra to develop. And that is why the British thinks that any day Biafra comes, that the Messiah will come. That is their fear. If you don't know, let me tell you. So when Satan goes into a Yoruba man or a Fulani man and saying walk against, anybody walking against Biafra is walking for the devil. I can tell you that. It's making me to become a bit emotional. I don't want to, there are some things about Biafra that mere mortals don't know. Unless you are in the realm, you can't see it. You're blind. It is there in all their papers. The white European, they know. They said the God of Eden is in Biafra land. And the British are afraid. If you give them freedom, the world will come to an end. That was why I said that Biafra is the last miracle on this very earth. If you know what we encounter on a daily basis, you'll be shocked. You will be. In the reign of Elizabeth I, 1597, her ships came to West Africa. That was how the Portuguese and the called Biafra is. But I'm going to shock you this night from encyclopedia.com. Go to encyclopedia.com. And in encyclopedia.com, you enter your Niger company. I want to tell you something. Because when the Niger company came, the British decided to divide us and started to call us funny names like Niger. That was how it came about. If you don't know, because the British were afraid of the word Biafra. The Biafra, when they hear it, it reminds them of the glory and the might of black people. It reminded the British of the promise that God made to the black people, and the way to keep black people down all over the world is to keep Biafra down, and that is a fact of life. That is something that we know, that is something that the whole world knows, and that is something that they are trying to keep away from you. That even when the British came with the Royal Niger Company or whatever it is, now listen very carefully. I want to educate our people. The Royal Niger Company came, they combined their functions, all the. This is from English Encyclopedia. Please, I want to read this to you. East trading prowess opened up the territories of several communities and nations with which European trade had previously been only indirect. They mentioned the rebels, Ukwane, which is of course Ibibio, and Igbo in Niger Delta. I'm going to repeat that. This is British. Hey, is the pig listening? All your upper, lower, lower, upper Niger, are you listening to what I'm preaching this night? I'll read it again. Urobo, Ukwane, Ibibio, and Igbo in Niger Delta. I think on that note, I'll bring this program to a close. I'll bring it to a close because we have preached this very gospel this evening. And Elohim is with us. Let no idiots come and tell you rubbish about Biafra. I will publish the maps very soon, if not tonight, tomorrow morning. All the maps we have, Biafra, our names are changing. And let me tell you why I will bring, or Elohim will bring that in my time. You know why? Now I want to go to sleep with this. Our name is Biafra, which is Biafara. My name of my village. If you take Bi, which is the calling, you have Afara left, which is where I come from. And that is not a Portuguese name. It's a Biafra name. Afara. Afara means come and join. That's the name of it. So Biafra means simply come and join. Are you listening? I'll publish the map. So our names have gone from Biafra, which signifies our trip from the Afar region of Ethiopia, which is why we have light-skinned people in Biafra and no other place in the coast of West Africa. They're all black as charcoal. Only Biafrans are light. Only a Biafran woman can give birth to somebody who is white, almost white. That's why we are light-skinned. The Fulanis got their light skin by, in those days, prostituting themselves to the Moors, to the Arabs. That's how it's a mongrel race, if you don't know. We got ours on our sojourn through Ethiopia. And our name followed us, Biafra. Biafra. And you know the funniest thing, this Afar region of Ethiopia has been taken over by Islam. Isn't it funny that Islam is now coming towards the land of Biafra? Isn't it funny? Very strange. Our name changed from Biafra to Biafra, which was a corrupt version of Biafra. Afar is South Africa, where I come from. And you know how I know that is correct? Because that was where Biafra ended. Temporarily, that is. The last quarters from where Ojukwu took off to Ivory Coast is in my village. In my compound, it's called Okwola Isiokwe, where you have Ojukwu bunker that BBC went to. Okwola Isiokwe means the very beginning of the people. Okwola means the very first place of that people. That was the last headquarters of Biafra, and from there, Biafra will rise once again. I thank you very much for listening. As always, we have demonstrated without any shadow of doubt that Biafra is our religion. Here on radio, Biafra is where we worship. Because Elohim is our God. I thank you very much for listening. And from me, from here, it is good evening.